Hey, Chess Wizard. Glad you can make it. We're doing a review tonight in 1 minute. All right, time to get started. Good evening, good evening. Glad you can make it. We're going to be doing a review tonight. So we're reviewing all first 10 lessons. Whew, lots of stuff, lots of stuff. But we're going to go through that pretty quick. We have a tournament set up for 8 p.m., 8:50 Eastern Standard Time, 8:50. So you guys can play. 8:50. And so that way you guys can play and try to keep up with all of the things that we've been learning. Try out all of the lessons, and we'll have examples hopefully to go over Wednesday. All right, so let's do a review. Let's go over all of the items that we've been working on. So the first one, if you have black, you can actually start with number one. I'll have to check. It was G.Host. He's Post Balone on Lichess. So his name is Post_Balone. You can actually follow him on Lichess. He should be in the team for live stream. And if he shows up tonight, he'll be G.Host if you want to thank him. So the first thing, if you're black, we're going to be thinking about is why did our opponent do that? And it's important for us to talk about this just a little bit. Because sometimes your opponent does things like, this on the first move. And you say, I don't have a clue why he did that. And you can think and you can stress your brain. And you might come up with the fact that he was scared that you might pin or attack his knight if he puts his knight here. But you might just decide that was a bad move. Let's say even worse, he goes here. And so you decide, you think about it, you take a moment, you say, why did he do that? But if you can't figure out why your opponent made their move, then let's just assume it was a bad move. It was a mistake. And see if there's anything you could take advantage of. And if there is, then you press on. So let's say you take over the center and you control the center now. And your opponent does this. Now, I know why they do this. Because they are they just learned how the pieces move. And they like doing this for some reason. I've never figured out why. Because they never move it any place else. And of course, you could think about it for a long time and think, wow, this is a really deep, genius sacrifice. Or you could just decide, that was a bad move. I'm just going to take the free candy. Well, free exchange, right? You'll be up the exchange. So yes, we want to think about why our opponents make the moves they make. But then we just have to decide if we want to deal with it. If you can't figure out why your opponent made the move they made, and it doesn't feel like it's a blunder, then it might be a brilliancy. So you still have to play. Remember your time management. You got to play, guys. You can't spend all your time thinking and thinking and thinking and never playing. Hey, Chris, nice emote. All right. So the next question is, while you're playing, and this is not the order that I want you to think through them. The next item on this list should be in order. Is there any free candy? Am I about to give free candy? Did I leave free candy? Is there free candy on the board? So moves like this, that's free candy. Do you need to think really hard about it? No. Do I want to think, I should develop first? No. I want to take the free candy. So you got to make that call real early. Is there free candy? If there is, take it. And you don't always have to take the free candy. but you'd better have a good reason not to, right? So this is not free. This is not free candy. It's protected by the queen. So you have to make a different decision. But if your opponent, for whatever reason, bequeaths you free candy, right? Bequeaths you free candy, even if they have some brilliant play in mind, you probably want to take them up on the free candy and see this brilliant opening. Because most gambits where you give away a pawn for the exchange of getting a tempo in development, you have to prove it still, right? You take the pawn, you win the free material, and then see if they can push through with their tempo and win. So, first thing, if you're black, if not, whenever your opponent moves, you need to think about why they made the move they made. I see way too many beginners that are offered free candy and never take it, are attacked. I mean, flat out attacked, like this last move right here, black made, right? I see this move, and white just says, well, I'll develop a piece. And it's like, you didn't even think about the fact that they're attacking you? How do you let that go? How do you let that go? Now, if you're playing bullet chess, that's why it's not really chess, because you're just moving. But here you have time. You need to find that. You need to realize you're being attacked and deal with it. So I'm extremely simplifying the situation. I am making it so simple it's not even funny. Well, maybe it is funny, but the idea is I'm making it as simple as possible so that we stress these principles that we've learned over the last 10 weeks. So, free candy, right? If it's offered, take it. If you have a chance to make sure you don't offer free candy, but take it if it's offered, unless you could see a reason not to. Next, in the opening, which is what we've been studying for 10 weeks, the opening. I'm still not sold on doing any more on the opening next week. I'm really thinking we're going to spend some time on the end game. Hello. I will say my hellos in a minute. I want to make sure I finish the lecture part so we can have more fun too. So, free candy. Am I developed? I have to focus on development. So another big problem that I see with beginners is we don't develop our pieces. Bishops get stuck back here forever. I see that happen a lot. I see where we just don't develop a rook or a knight or a bishop, and we just leave these pieces behind, and we try to do all of our attacking with just the queen and the bishop, let's say. Maybe we'll throw a knight out there. Maybe we'll castle, but then we leave these guys behind. We just say, like, we don't like you. You're in timeout. Stay in timeout. You don't get to play. So we need to develop our pieces. And while we're developing our pieces, we want to see about controlling the center. We want to take over the center. So also I see, and last week we just saw it in some lessons I did for Murph especially, where he was reluctant to push the pawn all the way. There's many times where if you're allowed, grab the center, take the center. Take the center. All right. We'll go over at least one game tonight just to talk about all of these again. So then there's the thing we call chase the queen and chase the king. You could call it chasing the monarchy. Yeah, it's been 10 weeks, Chris. 10 weeks. Anyway, chasing the monarchy. And what is that all about? Now, this is a legitimate opening to Scandinavian. I am John Bartholomew. Some other GMs are playing it. They taught it to the PogChamps, some of the PogChamps combatants. Why? Because if you play it right on your next move and you know the concepts and theory behind it, you can do fine with bringing out your queen really early. But if you don't really know what you're doing, I'm just going to chase your queen, right? And then depending on where you go, I might, and this is fine, this is legit, but I might find ways to chase that queen some more. And while that queen isn't being chased at this exact moment, that queen is still out early. So no matter what else happens, we're going to have to deal with the fact that the queen is out early, and now I gotta find a way to develop my bishop. And let's say we just say let's go all out just for argument's sake, and we take. And then let's say I'm going to attack the queen. I'm not even looking for good moves. But the point is now I have 3 pieces and I'm castled. My opponent only has 3 pieces. One of them is the queen. Maybe by chasing the queen around, I can get something going, right? We don't know. Where's the queen going to go now, right? So as black, he's got to figure out, where can I put the queen? I'm going to move it over here. No, I can't move it over there. That would fork the royal family fork. I'd get all of them, right? I'd just... Thank you. I could go here, but oh, then I get another fork, right? So you have to worry about that. But oh, I could take the queen here, the bishop. Yeah, watch. So here's some fun. You could say, well, I can't take, well, I could take there because the bishop, but no, the bishop takes back with check. Okay, I can't do that. What do I do? The bishop is hanging, right? So I'll take the bishop. All right, so if he takes my queen, I take his queen, just a lot of trades. But what happens if white takes here? Now I'm protecting, and as most of you will realize, we have a discovered attack coming. So again, where's the queen go? He's got places to go, maybe, maybe. But the point is that we get to chase the queen and gain tempo while chasing the queen. Not that this opening should end up that way, but the concept is right. Now, the chasing the king comes in where we have to identify checks. We want to look for checks, right? We want to look for those opportunities to say check, and if we get them, you might want to take them. So let's just say we go here, and let's say the rook goes here, because, we're just not thinking that great. Well, if you take here, you get check. We're going to win the queen. And my arrows are not, oh, there we go. We're going to get check. And you could think of it as chasing the king and queen. But you could also just say, hey, I'm lining up my rook with the king. That's always a good idea, right? Lining up that rook with a queen or a king, the royal family, is in essence threatening to chase the monarchy. So we want to chase the king and queen but we're doing it to gain tempo, to develop our pieces with tempo and or gain better positioning of our pieces, that our pieces get to move to better positions while attacking a king or queen. They're forced to respond because the king and queen are so valuable. The king, of course, more valuable. So chasing the king, chasing the queen, very beneficial way to get your pieces into better positions. So we covered 1 through 4. Why did our opponent make the move they made? If it's totally ludicrous and we can't figure it out, assume it's ludicrous and there's no figuring it out. It's just a bad move. But otherwise, you got to think about it. What happens? So if it was black's, is it black's move? Let's say black takes here. And you say, well, I don't know. Oh, if I take here, he gets to win the knight. Good thing I have a discovered check. And black would have to think, why did he move the rook here? Why didn't he, take the pawn? I gave him a free pawn, but he didn't take the free pawn. Why didn't he take the free pawn? Maybe because he's lining up a discovered check. And so as black, you have to say, okay, I see that discovered check. I'm not going to let that happen. You got to pay attention to your opponent's moves. We talked about free candy, and we talked a lot about free candy, and we spent lessons on free candy. And I still find it to be the biggest problem for beginners is we give away free candy. So if we can stop giving away free candy, if you just don't leave pieces in if you don't miscount and they have 3 attacking and you only have 2 defending, you're going to be in a lot of games. One of the things I want to point out when I talk about free candy and somebody having more pieces protecting than defending, one concept behind that you got to think about is pawns, right? So when I protect with a pawn, it's extra protection, right? So if my opponent says, well, I'm going to attack that pawn, I got 1 on it, okay, and we develop, and he develops, and we develop. I'm not protecting the pawn on purpose. He says, I've got 2 pieces on the pawn. I'm threatening to win the pawn. No, you're threatening to win 2 pawns for one of these 2 pieces. And that's still a 3 points versus 2. So we go here. You can't say, hey, I got 2 pieces attacking. I got 2 pieces attacking the pawn. I win free candy. Yeah, but a pawn protecting is like an extra piece because you don't really want to do that because you just gave up 3 points a knight for 2 pawns. Now there are times when you'll sacrifice a knight or bishop for 2 pawns. Sometimes you'll trade a knight or bishop for 3 pawns, especially if you can then get to the end game, because 3 pawns, especially connected pawns, are going to beat your bishop or your knight. But that's later on. That's positional thinking. And also strategic thinking. But right now I want you to just think about the fact that, remember, if there's a pawn protecting, it's not the same if it's a piece protecting. Okay? So as soon as there's a pawn protecting, it's not like that's free candy. Now, black might be smart and say, I'm going to get a pawn to attack first, and then after I trade the 2 pawns, then what's left there is not protected by a pawn, then it's free candy, and yes, verily. So that would tell you, I can't take, I gotta attack. Again, seems obvious, but there are times in the game where pawns are protecting something and we miscount and we forget the pawn is going to take back first. All right, so that's all of our concepts about king safety. King safety. We do need a word about king safety. So king safety is part of development. We use it for development, and when we say we're fully developed, it includes being castled on one side or the other. Remember, when you castle to the queen side, let's just get there. When you castle to the queen side, you have to go one more step to get behind the fabled unmoved pawns. I fiend shadow, sorry. But to get behind those fabled 3 unmoved pawns. At the same time, this is your biggest safety net for the opening and middle game. As you enter the late middle game to end game, you now have to worry, because usually this rook goes out here, and our rooks do what? Attack open files. And so while that rook is out of the way, your king, if all the rooks get off the back file, that king might get back rank mated, meaning the king has no way out because of these beautiful pawns. So if a rook or a queen can come down here and attack, he might very well checkmate you on the back rank. So there's a thing we call Luft, L-U-F-T, and it means space or air. So we want to give our king breathing space, breathing air, give him a place to go. And picking the right pawn to give Luft is important. Think about if your opponent has 2 bishops or 1. If he only has 1 bishop, then maybe give yourself, like say he has a black bishop, I'll go here, restricting the black bishop, and I know I can get to the white square without a bishop attacking me. But if he has a white bishop and not a black bishop, then I'm going to move one of these pawns. But you need to make sure that you don't get back rank mated. And as you enter the end game, the king actually needs to get active and get in the game. The king is an extremely strong attacking piece in the end game. And when we do end games, either starting next week or the week after, we will go over lots of king and pawn end games, and we'll play some tournaments and matches with that. Why? Because you have to understand the benefit of being up a pawn or 2 going into the end game, so that you know when to trade down into that end game. And then more importantly, you have to know how to win that end game. It's most frustrating thing for a teacher is I watch you play and you have a big advantage. You have 2 passed pawns. You have a king against a king, or a king and a bishop against a knight and a king, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna, you got this, you got this. And then your opponent, she just like takes off all your pawns because you don't play them properly, or your king stays back and your bishop tries to do all the work by itself, and your opponent's playing with her knight and king, and so she destroys you. That's just frustrating. So we want you to win your end games. You play equal, a little bit up, you want to win. LLMP, he has a habit of playing some of his cohorts, and when he plays his cohorts, more than once he's won the game, even though he was losing going into the end game, because he played the end game better than his opponents. So we stress and think and focus on the opening because we want an advantage right away. We want to win fast. We don't want to wait. We don't want to work for it, right? We want instant gratification. We want to win now. And hey, it is fun and exciting to sometimes win on like move 7, right? Get a checkmate on move 6. Spring a trap on move 6 or 8 or 9 and win the game in 2 more moves. You know, that's great. That feels great. That's exciting. But we have to be able to play the games and win the games when we don't get those traps and we don't get to win quick. So again, I don't bother teaching you the tricks and traps yet. Why? Because I want you to learn the solid principles and be able to play solid chess. And so that's what we're seeking, is solid chess. Then when you learn the tricks and traps, you throw those in on top of your solid chess, you're good to go. And if the opponent doesn't fall for any of your tricks or traps, you're still in the game, you know what you're doing, and then you need to know end game. Now, middle game, yes, you need to know too. And that's where the next part comes in, because finding tactics and targets, and we never did do targets. We're going to do targets later. So I should just change that to find tactics, because that's all we covered. So finding tactics can happen all throughout the game. Even in the end game, you're going to be able to find tactics. And these common tactics above, you're going to find in end games, middle games, and definitely in openings also. And if you can find them, use them, take advantage of them, awesome. So, the pin. The pin she win, my dad used to say. And so basically it's attacking a piece that if that piece moves, they're going to lose something either of greater value or something for free. It doesn't always have to be of greater value. It might just be an unprotected piece. So you could pin a knight, and when that knight moves, you can win a bishop that's for free. That's good. Or a pawn that's for free. It doesn't always have to be of greater value. It could just be of something for free, so you don't want to move that piece out of the way. But most times pins are pinning a piece to a queen or to a king or to a rook. And I say that because most times you're pinning with a bishop, queen, or rook, right? That's how you're pinning the piece. You can't really pin with a pawn because you have to see through the piece and attack the piece behind it when it moves. So pawns only move one square. So you really can't pin with a pawn or with a king. But you can pin with the others. And bishops are very common for pinning. Even here, we're going to pin that knight, right? And we could have pinned here, but that pawn's in the way. Just got there somehow. And that wouldn't have been a pin because nothing's there. But if the king were here, that would be what we call the absolute pin, right? If this king is here and this bishop is gone, so bishop goes here, and let's say the knight develops, and the knight develops, and then we get this pin. That's an absolute pin. This is an absolutely nice pin because it's on a queen, but it's not an absolute pin. An absolute pin means that you cannot legally break the pin by moving, right? So this knight can move. It can legally move. This knight, can't move. Cannot legally move at all. So, pins, very nice. All right, almost done with our review. Discovered attacks. So why don't we talk about discovered attacks next? Pins are one of the most common, if not the most common tactic I believe you're going to find. Double attack might be. We'll check. But the pin is right up there with the most common. But discovered attacks are not as common. But discovered attacks are kind of like where you pin your own piece. And so that's why we covered it at the time right after pins. Same concept, but imagine the white knight here. So if the knight's here, or if this were a black knight here, then when that knight moves, or rook, or pawn, when that piece moves, or queen, you get the discovered attack. So if this were a pawn, let's do something ridiculous and get us a pawn there. All right, so now we take whatever. So we're in this situation, however it came about. There is a discovered attack when that pawn takes, we're going to have a check. And again, a lot of people don't notice it, don't pay attention. They go after something else. And when you take here, they don't even notice until the king lights up. And they go, oh, I'm in check. Yeah, you're in check. And now what do? Even if you come back, it's like, I got a rook, thank you very much. So discovered attacks are potent, can be very powerful, especially if your discovered attack is a discovered check. So that even makes it better. But they're not as common. They're harder to find. All right, double attack, a fork. A fork is a beautiful thing. By the way, the dream of every pinning piece, this bishop's dream is that everybody on black would join in and attack this piece. This bishop is saying, hey, I got the knight. He can't move. He can't move. Let's say we don't even have the, by the way, just so you know, right? Black does this. What can white do? White can then counter threat the bishop. So if you take, and yes, you lose a pawn, but you don't lose the piece for a pawn. So at least all you lost was a pawn. But if you don't have this move, right, and he could back up, and then you can try that, right? You could do that because it's not en passant. So if black were to back up, if black, let's see, we pushed, he took, I have to change the order somehow, but yeah, if black were to back up, you could still push, right? So back here is where I guess I'm thinking. If black were to back up, you could still go here. There's no en passant, right? You can still trade, and it just depends on how black wants to make that trade happen. So, but this is how, when you realize you messed up, you're pinned, and they get the pawn to attack your knight, usually this is your only way out. Okay, that's your only way out. So if you made the mistake of already having this pawn up here, you're just going to lose the piece for the pawn, right? And you might even get the pawn back. You might not even get the pawn. So every pinning piece is dying for you to just pile on top of it. King, I will look at that later if you like. Yeah, we could go over the Traxler. We're not going over openings right now, so that's something for us to look at. So, but right now we're just talking about general. So I have to finish my review. Sorry. Hey, Sudakus, how are you? Como está? But anyway, back to our making sure we cover all of these items. So double attacks is next, and double attacks are awesome, right? They are when anytime you fork a piece. A fork is another way to call a double attack. So anytime you can attack two pieces at once is what we're talking about. And it's a great thing. So if we had a piece here, so again, I'm just going to force things to be a certain way. You're like, oh, I can get a fork. I can attack the queen and the knight. And that is a fork. An ineffective one because there's three pieces attacking it, but it is a fork. You want to look for these opportunities. Hey, thanks for the 400 bits. Sudakes. Hey, thank you very much. Muchas gracias. So what do you get when you can get a double attack? And we see the best piece by far for performing a double attack is the knight. And why? Because the knight is so strange. It attacks in this circular pattern, and it attacks 8 squares when it's towards the center. And the closer you can get to the center, the more squares it's going to attack. And well, still 8, but better squares, right? If I can get in here, or if I get in here, even here, I'm attacking not 8 squares anymore because I'm too close to the edge of the board, but you can attack so many squares. The knight, just beautiful. I mean, we were talking about in the other variation where I think we went through, not that one. One of these variations we went through, not that one, where we actually ended up where we said, oh, look, you can attack the king, the king was here, the rook was over here, and the queen was here. We could attack all 3. We can get that beautiful royal family fork. King, rook, and queen. The knight's the only piece that's going to do that, folks. Now, pawns can attack too. We just showed that with the queen, and although it was not an effective one. Knights are the best. Bishops can attack. Bishops can attack 2 pieces at the same time. Queens can attack 2 pieces at the same time. Kings can, and even kings, rooks too. Kings can actually do a fork. Every piece on the board has the opportunity at some point in its life to double attack. Keep your eyes open for double attacks. It's either pins or double attacks. I'm not sure which one is the most common tactic, but they're very common, and look for them both. Try to find them both. All right. All right, where are we at? Removing the defender. Now that's a good one. And we spent a whole week on it, so I know you guys remember it. But basically, it's when you see a piece that's only protected once, we want to remove that defender. So let's go find some games. Okay, let's go. I know we haven't found games yet, but let's go find a game and let's go. Oh, well, Leonard, you're online. You're in the chat. I've not looked at any of your games, but I am following you. So I'm going to go check out hopefully some of your games. You know, we don't. Wow, 13,000 games. You played way many more games than I have, and you play Bullet. Oh my goodness, Leonard. I'm not good at Bullet. I play 2+1 is the most I play. Now, why am I looking at a Bullet game? Because I'm anticipating we're going to find some bad moves in a Bullet game, and I'm not looking for Leonard to make bad moves, but I'm looking for moves that we can look at and say, do we have some opportunities for that double attack? Do we have some opportunities for remove the defender? Do we have opportunities for discovered attacks? Okay, so we get openings going, and we're just peeking and looking for double attacks. We're looking for opportunities for removing the defender. And how do I find remove the defender? Mostly I'm looking for a piece that is under or not protected at all. So underprotected or not protected at all. By the way, guys, I'm trying out what is this thing called? I'm trying out Windows Explorer instead of the Microsoft Edge Explorer to just see if it takes up less memory and CPUs than my normal, which is Chrome, and I'm not liking it. So I'm thinking it's not better at all. Not at all. So let's see what happens. We get some takes. I'm looking for remove the defender. We almost maybe had a chance there. I'm looking. Okay, so this is a straight out attack. We get some trades. We're probably not going to find a remove the defender here. I wanted to see a opportunity for remove the defender. Nope, I don't see a remove the defender. Drats. Okay, so we're not going to find one in this game. But if you guys remember what remove the defender is and how you find it, and as you notice, we just went through a whole game, went through it pretty quick, but I saw no remove the defenders. There might still be one later, but a remove the defender requires, whoa, free candy. Leonard missed the free candy. But that's what happens in Bullet. You miss things like free candy. That was free candy. And he takes it when it's a trade. So, if, and I'm not seeing any chances for remove the defender here, guys. So, no problem. But you get the thing we're looking for is you look for a piece that's only defended once, and then if you can get that defender of that piece to leave, you can win that piece. Right? That's pretty simple, and it's a great technique. You want to use it. You want to pull the defender away and win the piece. I know how we can find a few examples. As always, we can always go to our puzzles to find them. But that was a fun game to look at. Again, Bullet is fun. I play 2+1. We even have a tournament for our club, 2+1. But it's not my favorite at all because it's just harder to get good games, right? You're not really thinking for the most part. I watch these IMs play Bullet like 1 minute, 1+0, and they pre-move easily. 75% of their moves they're pre-moving. So they're not really thinking, they're not planning, they're not coming up with beautiful moves. And chess is so beautiful. I loved watching Queen's Gambit because it was a good example of the beauty of chess. And I hear she won a Golden Globe that played in that. So it's pretty cool too. So capture the defender is what Lee Chess called it. I like remove the defender, but same concept, right? All right. So we will look at things like this and say, well, okay, the knight's under attack, the bishop is under attack. I have two pieces under attack to begin with. How can I take advantage of this? I'm looking for a way to capture a defender and get it out of the way. And my head is going to start to hurt already trying to find a defender to remove. Don't even know where I'm looking for. So, and I am telling you that this site Edge is not working better than Chrome. Chrome was much better than Edge. And I would switch right now, but I tell you what, it's going to look really odd when I switch because it's just going to have problems. So you remove the, which defender are we removing? It's interesting to find out. Let's see. Wow, this is what I would call a long, complicated way to talk about capturing the defender. Too complicated for me to show you. Let's find an easier one, hopefully, to demonstrate removing the defender. Okay, we want to find something simpler. Let's see. That would be nice. So this pawn is the only thing protecting the queen. Can I remove the pawn? No, it's got another pawn behind it. So that's, and you notice how my screen is flickering? I'm telling you, Microsoft Edge, gone, out, not it. I've lost any happiness in thinking that was going to be a better way to do this. Nope, not at all. All right, so I'm just curious. So we remove the queen. Why? Because this pawn was being defended by the queen. So if we remove the queen, the knight gets to take the pawn, and we get... Come on, let's go, wake up. We get to take the c7 pawn and winning. And wow, this is extremely slow. All right. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. Opera GX, don't even know what that is. Is that a browser? That would be nice. All right, so last one, the last thing we covered, and we covered that, oh, okay, Chess Wizard, I will have to check out Opera GX. I have no clue about that. So skewers, trap pieces, and double checks. Oh my. We took the last three and put them all together. They also are not that common. Out of the three, we find that trapped pieces, especially with a little bit of a loose definition, it doesn't mean that you take off the trapped piece, but that the piece has no place to go, and it therefore becomes ineffective and a dead piece. Skewers, when you attack something of greater value to win something of lesser value behind it. And trust me, you attack a queen with a bishop, that queen wants to get out of the way if you can't take off the bishop, so you win something behind it. A lot of skewers are where you attack the king. King has to move, and then, something's behind it. There are a couple of openings where, like the fried liver, where you can lose your queen because the king is in front of the queen. And then we had double checks. Awesome double attack, right? But double checks is two pieces checking the king at the same time. And those two pieces doing the checking do the damage, and game over, basically. Game over. All right, we have about 15 minutes before the tournament. I do want you to sign up for it, hopefully. Let me go see how that looks, if this will even let me get there. So, yeah, Microsoft Edge. I was hoping it would have, because it's Microsoft, right? And I'm running Microsoft 10. So I'm thinking, hey, this will be a better way. But it's Tiberian 64 Arena. If you're not a member of the team, I'm going to send that in the chat so you can join the team. And I see 3 already signed up. Good, because I don't like to play. I like to get out of the way and let you guys play. And we have 14 and a half minutes. It's going to go on for 50 minutes, an hour. And we'll have 10 minutes at the end to recap before we shut down for the night. So you guys should be able to play and have some fun. I made it a 5+3. No, there is no Berserk. And no, there is no Arena Awards. Arena streaks. Why? Because we're not really worried about you winning the tournament. I want you to play with all of these concepts in mind. And of course, I will happily commentate as you guys do play and see how well you do. So I already sent out a message to the streams, everyone that's on the stream, so hopefully we'll get some more to play, and they'll show up in 14 and a half minutes and compete with you guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can switch back. See if I can switch back to Chrome and see if that works a little bit better, because I'm not happy with the speed of this. You are always the lowest. Chris, you're not always going to be the lowest. You just keep climbing. Actually, you're doing really well. You're climbing pretty quick. In fact, if we take a quick look at Chris's statistics, I bet you we're going to see some nice movement. But let me see if I can improve my latency here, my delays. I definitely know it's delaying because I can't even see it working. So let me see if I can improve this a little bit. I will be doing that. And happy to answer any chat questions while I try to get this set up. Yeah, the lowest for now. Thanks again for the cheer, Sudak. Yeah, Sudak and I are doing Spanish and English, but mostly Spanish, trying to learn Spanish while I'm streaming, while we are playing and streaming at the same time. So something for you to take a look at if you get a chance. Love to have you visit us and see how that goes. It was a lot of fun. I was not having a problem with Chrome any more than I've been having a problem all the time. I got a brand new computer showing up tomorrow, so we'll see if that improves my life. But I just thought, let me try a different browser. So I opted to try Edge, and I'm regretting it now. So I was going to try Safari also, and I haven't tried that, but I'm definitely game for trying Safari and see if that does better. I know Chrome takes up a lot of memory or CPU cycles, and it was showing that was taking up more cycles than Edge was when I looked at them. I brought them both up, went to the same page, and tried it out and said, let me see which one is taking up more cycles. And believe it or not, it showed that Edge was taking up less cycles than Chrome. But that said, it's still, as you saw, it was freezing and not working and working poorly. Chrome worked better up to that point. So I don't know if it's my computer overheats. I made sure that I have the fan so the air gets into it. I'm just like doing everything I can to try to keep things working smoothly and not mucking things up in the background. But I really don't have a lot of luck right now, it feels like. So as you see, when I bring up my lecture screen, I'm going to have to edit my scene. because I don't even know what it's still pointing to an old scene. So let's see. I have to edit this and get it online correctly. Fun, fun, fun. All right, we'll go to the analysis board. It's going to be off because it was off when I went to Edge, and yep, it's off. So I have to make a small modification to fix the board in the window, and we'll be ready for the tournament. I'll definitely have this done way before we play the tournament. So that's good news in my mind. Yeah, still slow. Oh, life can be slow sometimes. All right, let's move you over. Then want you on top of my chess cat. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough for government work. And you know where that came from? It actually was a good thing because back in the day, like World War II, the government was extremely careful about everything they bought. So if you sold something to the government, it had to be very good quality. So it was good enough for the government meant it was very good quality. And then as time goes on, now it's like good enough for government work. It's like means it's not that good. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, Safari would have trouble with with Microsoft. Um, oh, nice. Don't even update it. Oh, well. All right, we'll see how this one works. We switched over back to our tried and true Chrome for the moment. And we will definitely take some time and look at your GTX Chess Wizard. I'll take a look at that and see if that's a little bit better. Ah, Leonard, you're French. It's fun. All right, let's go to our teams and see what the tournament's looking like. It should be starting in about 10 minutes at most. And I've not seen any questions about anything we've covered for over the last 10 lessons. So let me know if you have any questions about that. We'll get to that. Remember, we do have a nice big team battle coming up on Wednesday. Oh, we still didn't get any more players? Ah, I was hoping we'd get 3 or 4 players while I wasn't looking. Well, I was busy trying to realign us to a different place. So I see Keith Love is online. I see Flavio's already in the tournament. Sudak, you haven't joined the tournament. You have to join the club. I don't know if you're on the team. Let's see. Let's go take a look and see who's on our team for the time being. I don't even know who's signed up or not. I can send out another message. We do have the big Battle Royale team battle coming up on Wednesday. Hope you guys can make it to that. Yeah, we definitely have Leonard, Keith, and Lemurf is out there somewhere. So yeah, I will send another message to our team players just to remind them. And we should be in 7 minutes or so. Just to get at least 4 or 5, it'd be nice to have more games to watch. I love watching you guys play. And I will play if I have no choice to get you guys some more numbers. But thank you, Sudakas. Thank you for joining. You are in the team now, and you can actually join in the tournament now also because of that. So you could just join. Hello. And here we go. Find our live stream again and get back to the tournament. And all right, we have 4. Keith joined us. I'm going to withdraw. That gives you guys... so now Flavio is our highest rated. And Chris, you are no longer the lowest rated. Boom. Told you. Told you it was going to happen. You weren't going to be the lowest rated. I knew it. So you're not the lowest rated any longer. All right, so guys, remember, when you're playing, have fun. Enjoy yourselves. 5 plus 3. Try whatever you want. You could try wacky things, but try to keep up with what we said here as our major things that we're trying to do. Why did our opponent make the move they made? Even though in 5 minutes you got to say, whoa, is he attacking anything? Remember to develop and to get your king to safety. I've seen too many times the king get left in the middle. Watch out for free candy. Don't give it away. Do not give away free candy. This is not Halloween. Halloween, one day of the year, you can give away all the free candy and I won't say a word. This ain't that day. So don't be giving away free candy. And take it if it's offered. Play Chase the King. Play Chase the Queen if you get the opportunities. Take advantage of it. Chase those guys around. Develop while you do it, though. Don't do it for nothing. In other words, don't check for no reason just to say check. In fact, we looked at some games yesterday with Murph, and we saw where people were making moves that were actually encouraging their opponent to make good moves. So don't help your opponent make good moves by just checking to say check or just hitting the queen to chase the queen. Yeah, maybe they won't see it and let you take it, but chances are that's not going to happen. And if you encourage them into making a good move, why? Why are you trying to help them make good moves? And then look for your tactics. And we went over a bunch of tactics. There's more. There's more out there. But these are the most common tactics that I find for beginners should be able to find. And I want you actively looking for the pin. And if you get a pin, look to pile up on that pin piece. Look for double attacks. That's the next most frequent that you'll find. Look for double attacks against you and for you. Look for the undefended piece, because that's probably going to be free candy and might be liable for a double attack. Also look for the undefended or only the piece that's only defended once, because if it's only defended once and you already are attacking it once, if you can remove the defender, if you can get that defender to go someplace else. It's the concept behind another tactic called overworked pieces. So if that piece that they have is protecting two different pieces, you trade one of them, they got to leave and go get that piece. And when they leave and go get that piece, you go get the other one. So look for those. Look for double attacks. Look for double checks. Look for chances to trap a piece and keep it out of the game. If your opponent's not developing their pieces, don't help them develop their pieces. Just get yours developed and look for attacks. All right, good luck, everyone. The tournament's going to be starting in 3 minutes and 38 seconds exactly. And we have 5 in there right now, so if we can get 1 or 2 more, that'd be great. We'll hope some show up. Otherwise, one of you is going to sit out each round and watch the others play. But 5 plus 3, we should be able to get a lot of games in an hour. And yes, so I could play so you have an even number, but I'd rather someone else show up and I can focus on analyzing your games and looking for these items up here. We're going to watch games and just see if there's opportunities. And granted, some of those opportunities might be missed by you guys, but maybe not. And maybe you'll find them all and we'll be just like ecstatic. But even if you miss them, it'll still be educational for us watching you play. All right. No, you can play any way you want, Chess Wizard. You can play any way you want, but understanding that if you play non-principled moves and they find a way to take advantage and punish you for it, that's awesome. But yes, you can play any way you want. It's a 5-minute game, so have fun. Have fun. Yeah, when I'm playing these games with you guys, when I play on Fridays, I've been sticking to the same rules that I've been giving you. Now, I've been playing long enough and have enough games under my belt that I should be able to play any way I want, but that doesn't help with demonstrating it to you guys. So on Fridays, that's why I play by the same restrictions I have set on my beginners, right, my students. You could follow some of them and not follow others. If you want to move non-center pawns, go for it. There are openings that require you to move non-center pawns. Just do so with the knowledge that you're not dealing with the center. And see, you're starting. The idea is that you will understand the difference. You'll play the Sicilian and go, hey, but I'm not occupying the center. I'm attacking it from the wing, so I got to make sure that I keep the pressure that way. Oh, I get it, right? Where other people, where they don't understand the opening principles, they'll just play because somebody told them, oh, play the Sicilian like this, and they'll show them 3 or 4 or 5 moves, and they don't understand the concept of attacking the center from the sides. And that could be you, Chess Wizard. So if you're playing openings where you're not moving those center pawns, you have to hopefully understand still the importance of controlling the center. And if you're giving up that center, how you have to deal with that. There are ways to play. All right, guys. We should see some games in less than 50 seconds. And hopefully my computer will do well and not give me problems. That would just be so nice. I'd be so happy. I'm going to even see if I can free up. Oh, I know one of the things I can do is to free up space is to not show my, to me, where I don't see my preview. So I will probably try that in a moment. Oh, okay. I'm going to see if I can also close down some background noise if possible. But you guys got 25 seconds, so you'll be starting soon. 14, 13, 12. Less than 10 seconds to go. All right, the tournament has started. Top board, Flavio's playing Leonard. Ooh, good match. Chris is playing Chess Wizard. Another good match. We'll have to see how that goes. Be watching that one closely. All right. Leonard, Flavio. Got a French defense if you guys wanted to know. Actually, they're about the same rating, 1521, 1556. We know Leonard has played tons of games on Lichess. He's definitely a Lichess player. Glad for that. All right, I'm just going to see if I can close down some items. That would be nice. Trying to free up cycles. Ooh. Interesting. Willingly taking on doubled pawns, but towards the center, freeing up the rook file, the A file. That might not be bad. Might work out. All right, I've turned off edges in the background. It's one of the few things I can shut down. I can shut down that one too. Try shutting down that one too. All right, we'll see how that goes. Wow, Twitch Studio uses a lot of memory. Amazing. I'm just looking at the statistics there. So I'm going to stop stream preview. And so I won't see what's going on. I just will know. Oh, nice. And yes, you guys tonight are playing each other, Sudak. You definitely are playing each other tonight, but the next tournament on Wednesday, you will be playing other teams. So you definitely will not play each other. If you're on the same team, you will not play each other. Trying to catch up on the chats while I'm watching. All right. And we're looking for, ooh, I like it, a break in the center. Does he take back with the pawn, the rook, the queen, or the knight? He has so many choices, Flavio did. So he could have taken back with the pawn, which would have given him a strong pawn, right? A reinforced pawn center, keeping the knight out. And so that was tempting in my mind for him to do that, for him to take with the pawn, even though he would have an open pawn. See, now that knight couldn't camp there because that pawn would have been sitting there. So very interesting situation. A good example of possibly not taking with the knight, even though it helped the knight improve its position. He had a chance to really own the center with pawns and keep this knight out of here. The open file would end up being the B file. That would have been very interesting and educational to see how that would have went. See, I still cannot get my... Oh, come on, get out, get out. I want to see the chat. Game progressing. Let's see. We get a pawn. Looks like, yep. Flavio found a way to win a free pawn out of it. That's always good. I missed that. It went by pretty fast while I was hoping to get my chat moving. Hey, it's finally moving. And Lula Queen asked to be in which team? Oh, in the four live stream. I will go check. I did not see that she had asked to be in for live stream. I will go double check that real quick. Yeah, I think the background. Well, the background is just a solid picture, so that should not be a problem. I took, and it's off my hard drive. It's not even off the. I didn't even have it be off the web. So, oh, we have more visitors that want to join. Cash and Tallulah, definitely, they're both in. They're accepted. Chess Wizard, let them know they can join the tournament. Sorry about that. My chat had frozen, so I didn't see it until just now. All right, I was gonna go take a look at the Chess Wizard and Chris game, but it's over. And Chris wins. Oh my gosh, Chris, you won against a guy that's 100 points higher than you. Chess Wizard has been playing very well. I wonder if he played one of those openings he was talking about playing, and now he's playing Sudakas. Let's go check out Sudakas against Chess Wizard. Be fun to watch that game too. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Only center pawns this time for Chess Wizard. I can see that. Let's go back and see how this got started. Okay. Karo Khan. Nice. And then we get an interesting setup. Okay. Look at that. Look at this go. I like it. I like it. Don't forget your times, guys. You shouldn't be listening anyway, but yeah, don't forget. You got the clock is running. Clock is running. Ah, Sudakas needs to definitely play more games than Lichess. We got to get him more games than Lichess. Unfortunately, the games we played the other night with Brain and Hand don't count towards your rating, so his rating is still provisional. We got to get his rating to be better than provisional still. All right. So he has that question mark. So we don't know how good he really is. You guys should be having some pretty good battles. So that one was interesting that it seemed to take a long time for Chess Wizard to make that move. I'm wondering what he was contemplating instead, because it didn't look like he had many choices, right? I mean, his queen and his knight were under attack. I don't think he had many choices. So we get a nice double attack here. So we see that tonight. We see a double attack. Hard to protect them both. In fact, I don't think he can. So what do you do? What do you do? So the only negative, if we look at Black's game, right? Let's look. Look at the difference. No development. While White's one move away, two moves away from being fully developed, but now he's got these problems, right? But, you shouldn't overthink this. You move the pieces, you give up a few pawns, you block the queen off from the check, you get the bishop out of here, and you're way ahead in development. And now Black does have a very safe looking situation, right? He has no open lines. It's hard to get to him, but there are weak points that aren't protected, unprotected pieces and stuff. So there's possibilities all over the place. Possibilities. Okay, so White should get to castle soon, and we'll see if he gets an opportunity to play chase the queen a little bit, because if he gets the chance to play chase the queen a little bit, then maybe the game will turn a little bit in his favor. But he has to get some momentum going. He has to get the tempo, or the momentum is a good word. That's the word I was looking for. All right. Looking good so far. All right. And now Black gets to play a little bit of chase the queen, and there was no pin anymore. But yep, just you can come in now. You got to be careful. Remember, chase the queen is definitely a value. There we go. We're playing chase the queen. We're playing chase the queen. But look at, still White has all his pieces out on the board. One move away from castling. White still has really good possibilities, and right now he's only down a single pawn. That's it. Just down one pawn. So this game has still got a lot of life in it. Oh, and castled right into the attack, to the teeth. No fear. Black has no fear. Black is like, come and get me. I don't care. I'm right here. I mean, there are things that White can do. I don't want to talk about them out loud. Let him find it himself, right? All right. Trades are interesting when you're not ahead, and White is not ahead, but he's fine, right? It looks like he's fine. Looks interesting. Looks very interesting here. Interesting. I liked here. I don't know what this one is. I'm not sure. Here I liked. You had threats here if he doesn't want to trade. Not sure. Not sure. I liked here. Maybe he was a little worried about that. And everything's getting simplified. So now, if everything gets simplified and White doesn't find the momentum to get an attack, then Black is going to equalize pretty easily and be in shape, right? Because he's got to get things going faster. That's dangerous. Yep, knew that was coming. Now he's kind of out of play, and he's missing this. Yes. Tactics. Forgot, we missed the fact, why did he do this? Why did he do that? It was to line these up. Good game, guys. Good game. Got to look for those tactics. Got to watch out for the attacks. Always got to look out for the attacks. All right, Chris. Chris, doing well. Won that first game, and how you doing this game, Chris? I think you're coming along pretty well. Look at you. What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, my gosh, Leonard, you're giving away all your rooks. Are you low on time? No. What am I missing? I think we just had either what we call a fault. Chris, we had this discussion the other day. You just got to put that rook right there. Why are we giving away more pieces? I don't know. But that rook is supposed to keep the king out. So like the rook here, and then the pawn runs. Rook here, and then the pawn runs. No, not there. The rook here, and then the pawn runs. And by the way, we just looked at this. No kidding. No kidding. And look how much time they have. They're playing like they have 5 seconds instead of 5 minutes. I don't know why they're playing so fast. I really don't. I'm quite confused. That was the fastest game. I mean, it's a 5+3, and they both have more than 5 minutes at the end of the game. So I think they played way too fast. I don't know if they... I think they must know the time. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Oh, okay. Yep. But I'm still trying to figure out why you guys were moving so fast. So I'm not sure why Leonard and Chris were moving so fast. I understand the mouse slip. I just don't understand why they were playing so fast. I'm totally flabbergasted at the speed of that game. I don't get it. So let's see what we have here. Interestingly enough, center counter. Okay, center trap. There was some fun opportunities, by the way, that may have been missed by Chess Wizard. No, I didn't want to go here. Sorry. I misclicked. See, I misclicked here. No, Chris, somebody moves fast. That doesn't mean you do. Yeah, it happens, though. When your opponent moves fast, sometimes you get caught up in moving fast, too, but you don't need to. So, Chess Wizard had this opportunity to take here, mess up the king side, and then take here, and just have to worry about the fact that he's giving up the center. But that was an option. That would have been an interesting option for him to try. So here he backs out. And his opponent has double pawns, but otherwise the race is on. The development race is on. Gives up the pawn. Could have taken and gotten a pawn out of it. And White still says, I don't want the pawn. And takes this pawn. Interesting. Now we pin, right? Rooks can pin. And we lose free pieces. Oh, Flavio, we're losing free pieces. I'm not used to... I think Flavio is usually a little more solid. I always think of Flavio as not giving away free pieces. For some reason, I just I don't know. I just think Flavio doesn't give away free pieces usually. So I'm surprised at that free piece that was gifted. So this is an interesting position. It's a nice double attack, but this is protected. So it's really that you have two pieces attacking here. So what does black do? What does white do about protecting here? Or does he? Again, don't want to give away, right? Don't want to. I don't know if they're listening. If they're listening, they could be listening, but they shouldn't be watching. I would think they're not watching. So it would be interesting to see what happens, but yeah. Let's assume they're not watching, just listening. So yeah, Chris, when your opponent moves fast, don't move fast with them, unless you really like playing blitz. And I have no idea why he was playing so fast. I've not figured it out. You guys literally ended the game with more time than you started with. That's crazy. That means you were moving better than 3 seconds per move. Faster than 3 seconds per move on average for the whole game. You ended up with more time at the end than you had at the beginning. Wow. Hey, over 1,400, so you won't be the lowest rated next time either, will you? Not if you keep that up, Chris. Not if you keep that up. Now that's a nice little move. I like that. I like that little. That was nice. That was nice. And which makes me like this move even more. That I'm glad I didn't say out loud. That move would have been nice. Yep. That's forgetting that there's this. Excellent. Excellent job, Flavio. Came back from giving away free candy, and now we're equal on the pieces. Notice? Equal on pieces. Should be fun. Let's see what else other games are going on. Go back to the tournament. Sudakis. Got to check out Sudakis. Let's see how he's doing. He's playing Leonard. Leonard is a solid 15-20. Okay. All right. And I don't know how well he's doing this tournament, but nice. Oh, look at this. We have the fork. And Sudakis chooses to take here instead of the knight. Interesting. I'm not sure I get it. I'm not sure I get it. I'm thinking right there was better. Gotta think taking a knight is better than taking a pawn. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Did I miss anything? So we had the double attack, but it chose to, and we had, look at this lineup. Look at this beautiful lineup, which is why Leonard had to move the queen out of the way, because he didn't want to. I mean, he could have taken with the pawn, but then the rook takes, and he would have lost the queen. So he couldn't take. He couldn't just move away with his knight, because then he still takes with check and loses the queen. So he was threatened to lose the queen. But then I'm wondering why Sudakis didn't take the knight with check. It's protected by the queen. That one's got me a little bit confused. And then if the king moves this way to stop the pawn, you get this check. Oh my goodness, what glory. Oh, what joy. Oh, that would have been so pretty. So yeah, I'm not so sure about the taking the pawn move. Oh, look at this. Yeah, I think if he had taken the other way, it would have been lights out. This still looks pretty much lights out. Still looks pretty much lights out. But we'll have to wait and see. Chris, over 1,400. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I want together we get you over 1,600. That's what I'm looking for. So let's see. Why is this clock flipping? Oh, because we missed a whole bunch of moves. What? Oh, we missed like every move. But what in the world? Now it's got me curious. So here, why with the queen? Why not with the rook? Queen has to take. Pawn takes. Rook can take. Rook takes here, and you're threatening mates. I'm lost. I don't know. Went with the queen. Went with the queen. And he was lower on time, but he's not low on time. Just lower. Yeah, I would have liked to see him go this way and then back here. Okay, going behind. Going after the other pawn. No. Keeping the king in lockdown, maybe? Okay. Interesting. Looks like we're getting to an endgame. Let's see what else we have going on. Chess Wizard and Flavio are still playing out their game. Looks tough. And Sudakis and Leonard. All right, Leonard. I got to work on that. Got to find out how to pronounce it, then work on it. So we got a couple waiting. Let's see, Lula Queen and Cash are waiting a chance to play. Oh, and Chris too. All right, that game ended. And now we're left with just one. This game is finishing up, maybe? I don't know. It's got some ways to go. It looks pretty interesting. Can't protect the pawn and protect the pawn. And not sure what that one does. Oh, attacking. Was attacking. And wow, his opponent does not want him to even win a pawn. It's like, no, I'm not letting you even get one pawn. So the question is, again, which pawn do you want to try to save? Don't know that you could save either of them. I mean, now that the rook is all the way over here. When the rook was here, it could go here and control this. Well, the rook is still controlling that one. So, yep, loses that one. But now hopefully we'll see this get activated. Nope, still moving that same piece. Think about it. That piece moved here, moved here. Way too many moves with that. Now it's a 3 versus 2 and a 3 versus 3 with double pawns. And that just gave him a passed pawn. So bad endgame play for the most part. These pawns are probably going to do their best to lock these up and might be successful, but black has all the winning chances. Unfortunately for white, black has all the winning chances. But you got to play the endgame right. Look at this. Look at this counter. But yeah, what happens if he had just taken? If he takes back, one pawn move, and this is locked up for good. And then this wins. And this. So, learning in the endgames, right? Flavio, if he had taken, game over. Game actually over. And I know it's interesting. It's not hard. It's kind of fantastical that would be the end. That would spell the end of the game. But yeah, he could have taken. Just taken. Game would be over. So now white has chances, but he has to find them. And even then, it's scary. All right, let's go back to the tournament and see. He goes for it. That's his best chance. His best chance to make something happen. Best chance. Still might be too little, too late, but at least he's making the game. Gotta like the spirit. And he does queen first. He found a way through. That was very nice. Didn't have to. Did not have to. Could have just taken. Flavio could have just taken and had it. Yep, Flavio, if he just took that pawn, game was pretty much over. All right, Chris is up again. All right, playing another one of my students. I'm glad my students are, I know you're not watching the stream probably, but you're playing on the team. I like it. And we're going to definitely have a lot of good games to go over, and I'm going to definitely spend some time looking through them to see if we can find at least one example of every one of the themes that we went over for the 10 weeks. I want to see if I can find games that would give me an example of every one of the themes. That would be really cool. That's my goal. That's my goal for Wednesday, to see if I can find a game to go over that would capture every one of our themes. Oh, let's see how we're doing here. So you count the pawns. So we got 6 versus 5. So white's up 1 pawn. Otherwise, everything's looking equal. But they both have isolated pawns over here. So white is just up a potential passer. So this is the potential passer, and white needs to find a way to get it to push, right? That's the overall goal later. The bishop can be strong, can be stronger than the knight in an open game. And right now it is pretty open, but white's doing a good job of the pawns being on white. So right now it's stymieing that bishop a little bit. But we'll see what happens, because now somebody's under attack and moves going to have to be made. and things will have to change. Outstanding. Yeah, Flavio, you should have just taken that pawn when he on his. You should have taken with your H pawn, taken his G pawn, and you would have been in good shape. And then when he pushed, you had to get your king over there. I know you tried the queen before he could. You still had three pawns against two on the other side. You still had two passers. He only had one. So you could have run your king over there, and it would have been much better. But again, you didn't even have to get into that situation if you just traded those pawns. Nice game though. Nice game, guys. Nice ending. Yeah, I would have taken that pawn, but yeah, it's something to look at later. That's exactly how we learn. That's exactly how we learn. Losses are way better than wins for learning. You learn so much more from a loss. And if you don't make if you just never make the same type of that same concept mistake again, think about how many games you win because you start taking those errors out, the ones that you miss, and you don't make those errors anymore. You're in shape for the future. You won't miss those. I still tell the story about getting a back rank mate because I didn't realize the knight was covering my king's escape square. In one of my first games, my first tournament, the last game of my first tournament, I haven't not fallen, but I haven't fallen into that problem ever since. Ooh, that's what happens when you play too fast. That's what happens when you play too fast. We miss moves. And again, look how much time they have in a 5-minute game. There's no reason for moving too fast when you have this much time on your clock. Yep, it's still there. Yep, it was there. I didn't want to say anything, but it's still there. And hopefully nobody knows which game I'm watching anyway, because they're playing. They can't be watching me watch them because they're playing, right? At least that's what I think is the concept. So let's see. The Cash and Chris game is still going on. And it's going to get to an end game. And it's feeling drawish, but there is one. Oh, didn't realize we had that pawn got taken off. Don't know how that pawn got taken off. Don't know how we just lost our knight. But yeah, I don't know how that pawn got lost. Yeah, this game is changing up a little bit here. Tough game. 1433. Chris, you're not just 1400, you're 1433. Very nice. Let's see how Sudakas and Chess Wizard are doing after that mistake there. That fork that we did witness. Chess Wizard is, or Sudakas is the one who fell for the fork. So we'll have to see how he likes to come back from a mistake. We saw Chess Wizard come back from a mistake in the other game, so never too late. It's never too late for tactics. How's that for a phrase? It's my new catchphrase. It's never too late for tactics. Never too late for tactics. All right. It's like silent messaging. I don't want to say that any ideas out loud, right? I'm showing you guys ideas, but I don't want to show them the ideas. Oh, Flavio's back on the horse. He is playing against Leonard. Good job. Let's see how this one's going. I like this better than it looks like they might have even gotten into that same opening that we saw earlier. I wonder if there was those two that had played it. But I like this. Yeah, see this? Remember we had where last time Flavio took with the knight, and this time he took with the pawn. I like that much better. Controlling the center, I think it's a much stronger choice. Now though, can't always take the time to grab pawns. So this is going to be interesting. Queen's looking for a square. No squares. No squares? I think he had a square. He had at least one square. And I think he just missed that he was that the queen was being attacked by the knight. Interesting. I still think I still like this move better, but I don't know what happened with the pawn trades over here. I think maybe we needed to see about getting even another pawn push in the game and get that pawn duo deep at black. I would like to see that. We're going to definitely analyze that game later and take a look at it. Ah, look at this. 6 points. Leonard is in first. Chris, second place, undefeated. Chess Wizard in third place. Sudaka's coming up. Cash King, Flavio. Oh man, I am surprised, and I know Flavio isn't worried about winning and being on top, but I'm just surprised because I think you guys should be scared of Flavio because he plays really well. He actually plays very well. He's quitting chess altogether. Bad night. Just oversights. So one thing I found, Flavio, and I don't know if it's true with you, are you playing on your phone? Are you playing on your computer, laptop or tablet? But when I look at it on a big screen, I do a lot better when I shrink the board and see it smaller so that my eyes don't have to move far to see one side or the other. I'm actually looking at that a lot. Okay, I'm looking at where it might be better for me if I can shrink this board down to where I do not have to move my eyes to see one corner of the board to the other. So like the phone size for a board is like almost too small, but I think it's better than looking at a computer, just because you can see the whole board. Just a thought. Oh, Chris, you gave away your queen. That was nice of you, and you still won the game. Chris, you won the game. So I don't know. Why are you telling me you blundered your queen and then you won the game? I'm gonna have to go look at that, Chris. I hope you guys are enjoying playing. I'm enjoying watching you guys and commentating. I know I'm not doing that much commentating only because I think you guys are still listening. So I thought that'd be unfair to do too much commentating. Look at this. Chris is just on his game tonight. He says he gave away his queen the last game, so I don't know. So I'm not crazy about that last move. Why? Because we forgot to castle, right? This knight, it's doing nothing here. Why move it? It was fine where it was. Oh, that's one thing it's doing there. It's attacking a free pawn. Okay, I can't complain. When I noticed, hey, you got to admit when you're wrong, and you got a free pawn, you got to take it. Yeah, and so now, what are we playing? That would be missed opportunities. So Leonard, if he had played remove the defender and started chasing that queen around, he might have won this. But I think he was looking at if he takes here, then this would be under attack. But I think he had opportunities to play chase the queen and remove the defender. Possibilities. I'd have to look deeper to see if it was as clear cut as that, but that would have been interesting. Chris has been playing very well. Look at him go. I'm just drawing arrows all over the place, guys. I'm the arrow drawer today. So I'm wondering if he missed the free candy or just chose not to take it. Oh, mistake. Yep. So that was a discovered attack, and you normally could say, well, my knight can go anywhere I want, but not when the piece that's doing the discovery is unprotected. So this is that back rank mate we were just talking about, right? Remember we said we got to make a loft, and we can't leave it unprotected. So better would have been just to take this pawn earlier, but then if you move the knight had to move here. You didn't get anything. You couldn't get any great tactic out of the discovered attack because you have to remember this was unprotected. So if we go back to when I started drawing the arrows here, again playing chase the queen, if he had went here, protected by the knight. Then the rooks are talking. Now you have no problems, and the rook can come over here at your leisure. So that's something Chris will get better at. No problems there. Oh, Leonard has lost 2, though. All right, I'm expecting Flav. I knew Flav was going to start winning games, and he already has 1 win under his belt. He won 1 recently. See that last one right there? And now he's playing Leonard, who just finished the game. So, wow, again, he's playing super fast. What is going on? I think Leonard just likes playing super fast, which may or may not work to throw off his opponent. All right, so we have an isolated pawn. I'm liking Flavio's setup in this game so far. And so far, so good. Let's see. Both of them getting developed. Got a little bit of a weakness. This will be interesting because he voluntarily gave himself some opens. But remember, with every lost pawn comes an open file. So that'll be interesting. With every lost pawn comes an open file. Many choices. Can't fault that one. Ah, now this one's not possible, but this one is. Yep. Nice. Just, oh, even better. I'm not even looking hard. Look at that. Even better. Even better. Yeah, I like this a lot. We'll see if Leonard finds it. I'm sorry, Flavio finds it. All right, it's actually Flavio's move I was thinking about. Oh, let's see. Chess Wizard is playing Chris again. I think it's more than once they've played. Get a lot of games in this time span, 5+3, especially and we gave it a whole hour to play it. So. Yep, you did not connect your rooks. You blocked it off. And why? Because your bishop never got developed, Chris. Because that bishop never got developed, so your rook never got to play. And he was locked out of the game. And it ended up costing you the game. So yeah, great lesson again, right? Love the lessons we can get from these. I like to see you guys taking your time at least. Yeah, I think had much better. Had much better. That would have been that famous double check. We had a chance for a famous double check. I think that would have been a little bit, oh, yeah, no, that still would have been a famous double check. That would have worked. Missed that opportunity, but hey, it happens. I don't know about all the thinking going on here, though. I mean, do you really have anything to think about? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that there was any other. I mean, I didn't see any counters. And you could do things like that, I guess. Always dangerous, as we say. Always dangerous to do that, though. Could have definitely done it now, but I guess he didn't like that. That makes sense, right? You really don't want that. Interesting. I was thinking for sure he was going here to get another piece there, but he chose not to. Interestingly enough, he chose not to. And again, forcing good moves out of your opponent. He's encouraging good moves out of his opponent. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Pile up a fourth. Keep piling on. Get as many pieces as you can attacking. It's a good way to go. I'm actually liking that, I think, but it doesn't really stop this. Interesting. Very interesting try. I don't know that it works. I mean, it doesn't look like it works. Doesn't look like it works. But we might have some opportunities to at least cause trouble. Very interesting game. Almost want to stay there and keep watching that one. Let's see what else we got going on. A Flavio game. He's coming back. I'm telling you, he's coming back. He's making up some ground. So this is that same game with this weakness here that Flavio is just finding ways to try to take advantage of, but his opponent is not giving up. Nice. I like it. Sacking the exchange for the discovery. Liking it. Now, which way? Which way? It's very important to figure out. This can't take. He could take here, and this protects. Because he's going to shoo over here. Either one you take, he's going to shoo over there. What do you do after that? That's part of the problem. So maybe you just say, "Gimme," and settle. Maybe you just settle. I don't know. Can do that. Either one of them are available, but that's forced. Pretty much, anyway. Oh, you gotta like it. You gotta like the aggressiveness. Gotta like it. And we're gonna simplify. Oh, he didn't take. Didn't take yet, I should say. I think the take is up. There you go. See, it's coming. And now look at all the pawns black has. Wow, what a nice simplification of the situation. What a nice play. Never taking it until the last minute. What a nice simplification. Excellent job. Wow. That one is worth looking over again later, guys. That was very nice. Very nice, Flavio. Very nice. Coming back. Was ready to give up chess, and now he's doing great. Now let's see. Chess Wizard and Chris are still going at it. Oh, wow. What an interesting mix mash of pawns out there. Just all over the place. They just look so disjointed, but they seem to be doing some work now. Chris has a double attack, which looks like it's a little hard to defend because rook can't stay here. There's no squares here for the rook to stay on the knight, but there's two pieces, so yeah. He's threatening to win the knight or win the exchange. Very interesting. Very interesting. Could do that. Takes here, takes back. Black moves. Gets that one in. Does he? Right? It's just going to be under attack. But he could also just start it moving. Ah, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Yep. Just was it has to find counter tactics. It's all about counter tactics, and we've seen it time and time again. You got to keep looking, right? So maybe here. He takes here. You even step up, or you take here first. Yeah, you gotta find counter tactics. Not easy. That's we thought about that. That looked quite interesting. It's funny. Twice now I was thinking the only thing in both games I think it was Chess Wizard had to find counter tactics to give himself a chance. Remember, I even said basically, I said literally. That gives him a chance at least. It keeps him in the game. It gives him a chance. And both times it was he found the same move I was pointing out. Which doesn't mean that those moves are right, by the way. It might mean that they were terrible moves because we both found them. But he found them over the board. I'm finding them just spectating. So it's a lot easier when you're spectating. Down to just those two games. Hey, we haven't looked at any cash games and Tallulah games. Uh-oh, Lula Queen's down to 15 seconds, 14. Come on, you got to move, girl. Got to move. Just move. Just move. Don't worry about it. You know, when you get down below 30 seconds, basically you're playing bullet, right? Even below a minute. You're playing bullet. You can't think. Bullet isn't a thinking game. And so it's good for learning about time pressure, right? And she should already had this in mind, or that. She should already have had her decision of what she was going to do way decided before, even before cash moved. So, nice game. Down some material, but she has to keep playing. You got to move. Gotta move. Gotta move. Gotta move. Let's see how this one is ending up. So we thought that Chess Wizard had a chance because of all the pawns. We'll see if he actually does have a chance with all the pawns. Oh, and he's low on time too. So this is another one where Chris has to basically understand that he's ahead in time, so he just needs to keep making complications for his opponent, and that'll give him a chance to win. Because time is a factor. It's part of the game, and you got to play with that part of the game. Got to play with all the parts of the game. Very interesting. Look at this position. I mean, it's getting crazy. It's a crazy looking position. And he's down the exchange, but he's got so many. And he's got a passer, right? So he's got so many to begin with, and then one of them is a passer. That's always dangerous. And these guys right now are not coordinated. Right now, they're not coordinated. They can be, but right now they're not. But again, he's up on time. Yep. Chesswood has got to watch his clock. He's definitely low on time. Drops another pawn, though. Ooh, that's nice. Might get something more out of it if he's patient. And he could just grab that, but that's an interesting choice. I'm not sure what that one was. Not sure what this was at all. Yeah, it's not a mate, not a mate. But he can't remember. And a draw for black right now, maybe in this quick situation, is a good idea. Why not force a draw if you have to, right? Sometimes you have to do what you have to do, especially when you got to stop a queen from happening. But it is 3 seconds every time. But yep, white didn't want the draw because now white's winning. Oh, no, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. You had to come all the way down and stop the pawn. Had to stop the pawn. I think Chess Wizard's going to pull out another game where he was losing and then came back and winning. I don't know that he was actually losing because he had the majority of pawns. Threats abound. Missed it. Yep. Good game. Good game. You guys have some really good games going on. 12 minutes left. Oh, Flavio and Sudakas. All right. Two of my favorite people playing. Actually, you know what? I like all of you. Wow, my favorite students, Cash, and I'd say my favorite student family, right? I got Cash, I got Lula, I got Chess Wizard. Then we got Sudakas teaching me Spanish. We got Flavio, just one of my mods and great helpers. Chris, one of my mods and great helpers. Man, you guys are awesome. I'm so glad you guys are part of the community. Thank you so much. And giving me a lot of, I'm going to have more games than I know what to do with, but since we're looking for every one of the concepts that we covered in 10 weeks, I need multiple games, so this should work. This should definitely work with giving us a lot of games. I think I'm seeing a lot of games here. A lot of opportunities. So, can't do that one. Could do that one and might get scared, but don't know what else. What else do you do? Could allow that and then tuck underneath and hide. That might be the best bet. Don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy being green. Interesting. See, now my thought is if you're going to do that, why not do that, right? If you're going to do one, why not do the other? But either way, it might entice him into a good moves. So, scary either way. There's some scary chess going on right now. Yep, some scary chess. Flavio's definitely making a comeback. Oh, good, Chess Wizard. I will definitely check that for Remove the Defender. I thought you had a lot of just interesting games too. Yeah, this was. Let's see what. I think Flavio had some ideas in mind. I'm not sure what the maybe he's just looking at finishing. Not sure. I kind of like that personally, as you guys saw. I drew enough arrows. You know what I liked. You know what I liked. All right, got less than 10 minutes for the rest of the tournament. We're going to go over the games. We're not going to go over the games. We're going to talk for about 10 minutes. I'm going to find somebody to raid, and then I'm hitting the sack. I got some driving to do tomorrow, so got to make sure I get my sleep tonight. Oh, game over. Yes. So he did go with the doubling up, it looks like. Let's see what happened. Took my eyes off of it for a second. Yep, doubling up. Yeah, why not? Why not? And then, yeah, that's a mistake. I agree. Yeah, that can't be played. I'm sorry, this one needed to be played. Definitely that one needed to be played. Needed to get rid of it. That was a problem with the bishop or with the queen. Nice ending though. Nice attacking the king side, Flavio. Definitely aggressive attacking the king side. Excellent job. All right. Probably the last game of the night. I don't know. Is it? No, it's not Sudakas. So who was? Oh, Leonard was playing those really super fast games. Hey, Chess Wizard, checking out the emotes. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Chris, that's because you need a little bit more confidence about your game. We have confidence in you. Everybody you've talked to tells you that you're better than your rating. Now you need to start believing it too. Good job of not quitting chess, huh? You almost quit too soon there, Flavio. I'm glad you didn't quit. You're still in it. No quitting allowed. Hey, Sudakas, if you do this maybe 2 or 3 more times, we'll have you get rid of that question mark after your rating. You'll have a solid rating. No more provisional, because you'll have played enough games between this and the next week. Wow. Oh, man, water. Don't quit chess today. Did we miss? Yes. I don't know why my move just stops. I don't know why that is. It should keep going, but as you see, it just sits there. It doesn't move. I don't know why it's not moving, but we'll take care of it. All right, looking pretty interesting. So this is one of those moves, Chris, where I wonder because it doesn't advance your position. You could have waited till this happened. So yeah, it's a curious move. It's like what was the purpose? Again, you show me a purpose that I did not see. I like it. That was the idea, huh? Get to go there, and you're threatening check. And look at this double attack, right? You had a double attack. We like double attacks. We really do. Got some more remove the defender opportunities looking like. Yep. Now I see why you did it. I don't know that it was a good idea, but I see why you did it. So I get it. I just don't know if I like it, but I do get it. At least I do get it. It took me a while to find it, but I got it. I got you. I got you. We'll see what Sudakis wants to do. Really? I'm very surprised. So I can see not this because we don't want to give an open file to the king. But I don't understand why not that. That free candy was just ignored. I don't know. I always, I always tell you, take the free candy, guys. Now that free candy I wasn't crazy about because the same reason why this free candy, or I should say, doubling up, that wasn't really free candy. But yeah, now he does. But I think he could have just done a move before and he would have been fine. So this is dangerous, right? Because while it's free candy, it's enticing. And he's got a nice connection here. And where does that knight have a square? Does that knight have a square? Does not look like that knight had a square. In fact, that knight does not. And you can move here with tempo. So you move here with tempo. She has to move. Then you take here. You lose this, but obviously the knight is worth more. So, yeah. Yep. I think Sudakis is going to find that for sure. Let's go see another game. Oh, Flavio's playing to get back. What a nice comeback today. I like it. Oh, look at this. No castling for these guys. They're like, who needs the stinking castle? The queens are off the board. We do not need to castle. And that is a true statement. When the queens are off the board early, many times you do not need to castle. Castling is less important because the queens are off the board. So, do you come here or do you come here? Very interesting choices to be made on both sides. But look at this one. This one is so annoying. And it doesn't actually have to do a good job of attacking anything. It's just annoying that it's there. It's like I can't move my pieces. But of course you could. Not even sure about this move, but I mean you could have moved pieces. Nice job. Let's see how many squares he has. Doesn't have those two. Has here, which can go away pretty quick. That would be a skewer. We talked about the skewer, right? That would be a skewer. But yep, that would be a skewer. Just there's no way around it. That would be a skewer. So. Interessante. Chose to go this way. Really only one choice, so. Had this choice, I mean, it was a possibility. Oh, yes. No, it wasn't a possibility. He takes here. He has to take because, yep, and he couldn't take here. Yes, that would have been nice. So take here, has to take here. Yeah, has to take here. And then this would have taken here, and he would have been down a piece. Nice. So I was looking at the skewer. I was looking that this was protected, but forgetting that somebody was on this file. Very, very nice. Very interesting. Very complicated. I wonder if I wonder if Chess Wizard saw all of that. That'd be pretty cool if you did. I always like when students see even more than you can imagine. Hate that when that happens. I hate that. I hate mouse slips. I mean, I'm just taking to now left clicking and left clicking. No more dragging and dropping. No more dragging and dropping. Just too many mouse clicks. All right, 8 seconds to the official tournament's over, but unlike other tournaments, you finish off your last game. They just don't count towards the tournament, and I know nobody really cares about who wins the tournament. But Leonard did, if anyone cares. And Sudakis, nice, came up in second place, Chess Wizard in third. And Flavio is working his way back up with 3 wins in a row. Very nice. Very nice, guys. So again, we have our big battle royale team battle on Wednesday. So try not to miss that. That'd be great to have you there. Let's see. Who do we say? Oh, I don't even think it'll show us these games that are still going on. Yeah, it's not even included. All right, so I will be analyzing these games for sure. I will be looking them over, and I will be doing some analysis of the games. I'm going to go ahead and you guys can finish up playing. I'm going to look through the games and find special ones to look at for next week, for Wednesday. And I'll go ahead and see if my computer will let me do anything. Yes, it will. I don't think I'm even spelling that right, but let's see. Nope, I did misspell. All right, so out of the IMs that are out there, 3 of my favorites IMs are John Bartholomew, Eric Rosen. They're both very calm, relaxed. John Bartholomew is probably the stronger of the two, and he might be the stronger out of Rosen too. But Levy Roseman, I never push anybody to because he gets rowdy. His YouTubes are clean, but his stream is definitely not. But Bartholomew is very clean and very calm, and he explains every move so well. Even I think he explains moves better than Rosen does. But I like Rosen also. Rosen's fun. He finds a lot of weird stuff going on, a lot of different openings to play, a lot of fun moves and tactics, and I like listening to him also. Yes, way different on YouTube and stream. Great YouTube content. I'd recommend people to look at Rosman's YouTube, Chris, but yeah, I would stay away from his stream if you're kids. And then I like Anna Chess, which is Anna Rudolph. I like watching her too. She's very calm, very kind, very nice. But I'm going to raid Bartholomew because he's online and he's one of my favorites. I rarely get to send anybody his way. If Sudakas was doing a stream right now, I definitely would bounce over to Sudakas, but he's busy playing, finishing up his last game, hopefully. So that was really good, guys. Thank you for the review. This week's a little bit laid back for me to just take a review, try and decide still if we're going to go ahead and because we have 2 choices. I can either give you tips, tricks, and traps in openings, and we'd be still studying the basic openings, or we're going to go do end games. Haven't totally decided. I'm leaning towards end games because I think all of you would benefit from it. At that, I will say good night. We will see you guys next time, Wednesday, 11 o'clock. See you then. And don't forget the big tournament later on at night on Wednesday night late.